This roadshow of Bernie Sanders and AOC is bringing in massive crowds. Dismiss this at your own peril. We've been telling you that. And they aren't doing shows in Brooklyn. They're heading into deep red areas like Missoula, Montana, Salt Lake City, Utah, Nampa, Idaho. Bernie's probably a little too old for 2028, but AOC, well, her star has never been higher. Reminds us of another would-be rising star. Let's go back to 2021.
As one person said, but my God, you should have seen the response for Ron DeSantis. He was like a conquering king. And this person who's been in Republican politics for 40, 45 years said, I haven't seen anything since Reagan in 80.
Yeah, then everybody got to know Ron DeSantis and we figured out how it turned out. So yes, AOC could be another DeSantis or someone whose star power is undeniable. Dare I say, and we've talked about this on the show before, another Donald Trump. And what's interesting is how the media is treating her a little bit like a combination of the two.
You don't really think AOC should be the candidate, do you?
No. I mean,
good.
No, I'm not saying, I mean, like, it's not my job to pick who the candidate is going to be.
Oh, it's mine.
Yes.
And it's not, it shouldn't be her.
Maybe you should talk to the president about that.
It shouldn't be her.
John Solomon, founder of Just the News, is with us. Daniella Diaz, congressional reporter for NOTUS. Nice to see both of you. John, I'm going to start with you on this. The left media says she's a flash in the pan. This is silly. Yeah. Almost the way everyone dismissed Trump in 2016. The right media says she's a socialist and too far to the left and kind of makes fun of her in that sense. I think people should take her pretty seriously.
Oh, there's no doubt. Her skill set is significant. Her ability to communicate. And you're at a moment in American history where a large part of the country is going to be looking for generational change. And she has all of the elements to make the case. Now, people who try to oust their party leadership often don't end up with a lot of chits in the bank to run for president, but they might be able to affect really significant change.
Speaking of party leadership, she has at least one ally in ousting leadership, and that's David Hogg. Normally, party leadership, the DNC vice chair, doesn't matter. He probably does, if for no other reason, in terms of how articulate he is. Here's him about messaging.
We have to be a party that doesn't have a 27% approval rating from our own base. That is not a survivable future. And the way that we change that is making sure that we have some different characters. We talk in Democratic politics all the time about it's the messaging, it's the messaging, it's the messaging. You can have Shakespeare write the best script in the world. If you have bad actors, it doesn't matter.
Danielle, it seems as though a lot of establishment Democrats are really angry at AOC, which may mean she's doing something right.
Well, it's interesting because what David Hogg just said he's going to do, which is support support candidates that are more progressive and younger against these Democratic incumbents in blue states, is what AOC did in several cycles, which actually angered a lot of her colleagues. And it's interesting.
And might do it to Chuck Schumer.
And might do it to Chuck Schumer, although we still don't know what he plans to do in 2028, considering his age as well and what's happening in the past couple of weeks, siding with Republicans. But I think it's really important to note that AOC has actually been someone who is now saying she won't support progressive candidates against incumbents, and she's someone that's now playing the field with establishment Democrats, which kind of shows us some signs of where she might be headed in the future if she's trying to side with them.
I mean, tack to the center.
More tied to the center, try to be less progressive. Of course, appearing with Bernie Sanders is a way of her kind of taking over the mantle from him. He's not planning to run for re-election. We were just talking about this, but John mentioned earlier that this has been something that has not worked for other candidates before.
Doesn't always. Yeah, it doesn't always work. I think there's something really important, too. The first time I saw her attack to the center was when she came to Israel's defense after October 7th. She took a lot of flack, actually lost a Democrat Socialist nomination or endorsement for that. But you could see she was starting to make these plans a couple of years ago.
Okay, so again, David Hogg, one of the more vocal members of the Democratic Party, saying this about a very important Democratic talking point, which is democracy.
We go out there as Democrats all the time and say democracy is the most important thing. We have to defend democracy. We fail to acknowledge that this generation, democracy is what put us through school shooter drills and school shootings. It's what's put us through the climate crisis and so much more.
John, it's sound bites like that I think is the only solace Republicans can take, right?
They're still on the wrong choir. They're singing from the wrong hymnal right now. It's about the economy. It's about the future of the country. No one thinks democracy is at stake. We voted just fine in November. Everything was fine except for the Democrats.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.